Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. August 24th. A riddle that works. It may be possible to find explanations of spiritual experiences such as ours, but I have often tried to explain my own and have succeeded only in giving the story of it. I know the feeling it gave me and the results it has brought, but I realize I may never fully understand its deeper why and how. As Bill sees it, page 313. I had a profound spiritual experience during an open AA meeting, which led me to blurt out, "I'm an alcoholic." I have not had a drink since that day. I can tell you the words I heard just prior to my admission and how those words affected me, but as to why it happened, I do not know. I believe a power greater than myself chose me to recover, yet I do not know why. I try not to wonder or worry about what I do not yet know. Instead, I trust that if I continue to work the steps, practice the AA principles in my life, and share my story, I will be guided lovingly toward a deep and mature spirituality in which more will be revealed to me. For the time being, it is a gift for me to trust God, work the steps, and help others. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, August 24th. I'm usually such a gentle, easygoing person that you'd never believe what happens when I get angry. I fly into a rage. My blood pressure seems to double, and I unleash a torrent of profanity. After years in Al-Anon, my anger is still a problem, but my behavior has greatly improved. Some time ago, my dog got its feet tangled in an extension cord and broke a beautiful vase. My temper flared, and angry words cut like sharp swords. What helped me to change this behavior was the look of hurt and bewilderment on my pet's face at the sudden, violent change in me. If a little animal could respond this way, what were my outbursts doing to the people in my life who understood every nasty word? Today's reminder: I am human and I get angry, but I don't have to act out my anger in destructive ways. I do not have the right to take it out on others. Whether my usual response is to scream, sulk in cold silence, or lash out with cruel words, today I can look at what I do when I get mad. Maybe next time I will try something new. There is a quote from The Dilemma of the Alcoholic Marriage, and it reads, "We can pave the way for calm, reasonable communication only if we first find healthy outlets for our own negative feelings." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, August 24th. Seeking God's Will. We learn to be careful of praying for specific things. Basic text, page 46. In our act of addiction, we usually did not pray for knowledge of God's will for us and the power to carry it out. On the contrary, most of our prayers were for God to get us out of the mess we had made for ourselves. We expected miracles on demand. That kind of thinking and praying changes when we begin practicing the 11th step. The only way out of the trouble we have made for ourselves is through surrender to a power greater than ourselves. In recovery, we learn acceptance. We seek knowledge in our prayers and meditation of how we are to greet the circumstances that come our way. We stop fighting, surrender our own ideas of how things should be, Ask for knowledge and listen for the answers. The answers usually won't come in a flash of white light accompanied by a drum roll. Usually, the answers will come merely with a quiet sense of assurance that our lives are on course, that a power greater than ourselves is guiding us on our paths. We have a choice. We can spend all our time fighting to make things come out our way, or we can surrender to God's will. Peace can be found in accepting the ebb and flow of life. Just for today, I will surrender my expectations, look to my higher power for guidance, and accept life. Today, Emotions Anonymous, August 24th. Reflection for today. The program teaches that fear may come from projecting what might happen. That is not living one day at a time. One way I learned to deal with fear is to organize. I make a list of 6 things which I have to do. I learn to recognize the time of day when my mind is freshest and I have the most energy. I do the most difficult or most urgent thing at that time, first things first. And I concentrate on that item and do not think of anything else. The feeling of accomplishment I get gives me the momentum to do the next thing on the list. That list becomes less frightening. Meditation for today. May I remember that God gives me the strength to do what needs to be done if I ask. Today I will remember one day at a time may mean one item on the list at a time. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. August 24th. Survivor. It is my bias that no one deserves to live a life of fear and shame. BRB page XVIII. Many ACAs go from blaming, shaming, complaining, and condemning ourselves and others to finally learning to name what is really going on. By doing so, we begin to come out of our victim and our victimizer roles. We ask our higher power to help us remove and release our unhealthy behaviors, thoughts, and feelings. We let go of the justifications we created in our minds for our actions, thoughts, and emotions. Yes, we experienced abuse or neglect as children and maybe as adults, but we know that does not excuse our dysfunctional behavior now. As we gain strength and recover, we become healing survivors and then thrivers. We gradually and sometimes more quickly develop new capacities for healthy well-being in our lives. We learn that we deserve a happy, full life. We learn that we have always deserved this. We don't have to do anything to be worthy. We just are. As thrivers, we now know that our higher power is there for us. We learn to have unconditional love for ourselves and others. On this day, I acknowledge that I am worthy and deserving of a happy, full life. Please share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be. To remember that you are not alone and that recovery is possible, one day at a time.